This is the MDRT podcast. Much can be gained while embracing new approaches for your office, from the flexibility of remote work to the impact of strong safety procedures to the benefits of thoughtful client communication. During a Zoom call on November 10th,
Leena Parwani from Dubai, United Arab Emirates.
Kakak Lam from Malaysia.
Brad Myers, South Jordan, Utah.
shared how they have succeeded whether they've gone back to the office, stayed at home, or a combination of both.
I would love to share about this thing, how actually we have done something really interesting during this COVID time. There are jobs in every office, such as document controller, front desk, messenger. These are like a small jobs. When the COVID hit, all were working from home, and these jobs actually go redundant because they have no job to perform, no activity to perform. But I did not want to fire any of them, even though they were sitting at home, those kind of job roles. And we had given them like salary cut during that days. But then very quickly we realized that our existing clients' needs are even more at that time. So the people who are serving clients, service department, and they were day and night helping clients. So we realized we need more hands, and rather than hiring more skilled people, why not retrain our junior staffs who are actually about to get fired, and because almost 6 months we had no jobs for them. And we actually started training them online every single day because it was so easy to train. When we are communicating with client on a Zoom, I can always have my silent member right next to it to understand what we are doing, how we are handling the clients, right? So those junior jobs like admin assistant, document controller, they were given much more skills. They are now multi-skilled and they can perform other duties as well. And it was a great success for us. And some of them really shown extraordinary interest in that and the improvement in terms of client servicing. And when we resume office, which we were really wanted to, initially it was okay to work from home kind of thing. But I was really wanting to come back to office to have that feeling and stay close to my office and my team. We not only got them back on the same salary, we also gave them another 15% promotion because they are now multi-skilled. They can refill somebody else if somebody else on leave or something like that. So I can actually use them, and they are happy too because they got a progress. They got an opportunity to learn something new. So this was something great for us. One more very interesting I can share. We had like some staff who were on leave and they went to India. They were stuck, and in India they get stuck and they were not able to come back. But then we, as I said, that we had a lot of work coming in hand. We trained them to be virtually available to us all the time. And when I gave the job to my assistant, she gone to India for delivery, and then she stayed there. She couldn't come back. But it was so beautiful that she could work even after delivering just 1 month, available to us online. And we gave her a part-time job initially to start the work where we was expecting she might not be able to come back here. But then there were many jobs because everybody was working from home. And then the location did not matter where she's working from. Whether she's working from Dubai or India, nobody knows. But she's just working. She's handling my client very well. So virtually things worked out so well for us. And not only that, then we hired one more staff virtually because the cost-wise was so effective for us to hire a staff back in India and working for us on the client servicing level. And we realized that this is cost-effective. Location does not matter anymore. We can still have people working from different locations. I'm not sure how many people would have done this, but we really enjoy this innovation in terms of going to virtual hiring.
I think that's amazing that you started looking at virtual hiring, something that you wouldn't have looked at previously. But because of a pandemic and situations that changed, you've been able to go back and reassess how you can bring people into your business and hire somebody that you probably wouldn't have hired without this happening. I think that's amazing. Excellent job.
Thank you. Yeah, we are actually now on to it. We are not going back to normal in a way that we can still continue to hire virtually from India.
You know, successes for us in going back or not going back to the office, we've actually used more of a hybrid approach. So just like everybody else, I believe we were all shut down for quite a while where we couldn't go to the office. We've had a number of scares in our office when it came with people thinking they've been in contact with somebody that had COVID. And so early on, we tried to come up with a system that would work with myself and my partners. Is we would actually take the week and we would divide it, and we'd say, okay, on these days, I'm going to go to the office. On other days, my partners would go to the office. So it was successful to do that. So we kept out of contact with each other. But probably the biggest success that we've had, even though we're still at this hybrid approach, is we actually take the time to communicate with our clients what our protocols are and what our procedures are. So when a client calls in, and now when they're calling in, we will offer them to come into the office if they would like, or we can do a Zoom call or a phone call with them to review their accounts. But if they want to come into the office, we make it clear and understandable to them that we only have 2 appointments a day, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. And the reason we do that is we explain to them, we have one in the morning where we will have you come in, and then after you leave, we sanitize the entire area. Then for the afternoon appointment, we know the office is clean. The next client comes in, we visit with them, and then after they leave, we sanitize again. But we make it very clear to our clients that we are taking this serious and that we have a procedure in place to make sure that they feel safe. Also at our front desk, we have masks, we have hand sanitizer in case they forgot theirs. Again, just making sure that they feel comfortable when they come into the office. It's amazing that by telling them the processes and the procedures you're taking to make them feel comfortable, more of them are more inclined to say, I understand, I like that, and I understand that your schedule's going to fill up fast, which it does. And so some of them are a lot more inclined to go back to learning how to use Zoom or just phone calls to do regular meetings. The downside to that for me is I really like the interaction. I like to be able to sit down and hug my clients, give them a handshake, whatever it may be. So I'm missing out on that by doing the Zoom type meetings. But even when they come to the office, I still can't hug them. I still can't give them, a handshake or a high five or whatever it may be, but we still get to see each other. So with that said, I think as long as you tell your clients what your protocols are, they're going to be more inclined to either come to the office or want it to be okay to be at home. One of the other things that I've had to learn is to be a little bit more patient during these times. I pride myself and my office being very, very professional. But probably like most of you, now that I was stuck at home in my home office, is we would have the kids running up and down the halls because they're taking care of school, the doorbell would ring or something, someone bringing you a package, and it could be something where you just have to learn to be a little bit more patient. And I found that my clients are a lot more forgiving than I ever thought that they would be, right? So it's been exciting, it's been different, but again, just continue to tell your clients what those procedures are, and I think you're going to be okay.
That's incredible. That's really incredible. Actually, it's surprising that I was wondering that we were actually not calling any client to our office, and you were like literally saying that, no, guys, you can come over, and like we are sanitizing office every single day after every meeting. I'm sure this is such a super safe feeling to any client to feel that, that's a place we can still have meetings on, yeah?
Absolutely. And with just giving them that option, I think it made them feel a lot more comfortable because they're used to seeing us. They're used to being able to sit down and say, okay, you've got my entire financial lives in your hands. And now all of a sudden we're saying, yeah, you can't come see us. We've got to do it over the phone. But giving them that option, I think it made them feel a lot more comfortable that we were still there for them and that we hadn't abandoned them. Right? It was like, we're still here. We're still plugging along at this, and we're not going to forget that you're here and that we're here to serve you.
Brett, it's amazing. Yeah, you sanitize the whole office. You give confidence to a client that when they go to your office, they feel like very secure and safe. This is really great.
Thank you.
For my personal experience, because in Malaysia, like in Asia, we do not really see client in the office. Yeah, so for office, normally what we do is just to do all the paperwork, claims, documentations, but we don't get to see client in the office, and we never invite clients to our office. So most of the time when we go out of the office, when you want to see clients, we have to see in the public places, like in the shopping malls, or maybe client's office, or maybe like some cafe, restaurants. So actually going back to office, is it more productive for us? I think staying back at home will be more productive for as the agents. And the reason why is that because when you stay at home, like for example in Malaysia, the number of cases of COVID-19 are really increasingly very, very bad. So there's not many people actually dare to go out there to the public places. So what we do actually, we work from home and we actually have a personal touch with them. What we do is that we call them one by one. You know, some of them might not be comfortable with Zoom call at the beginning time, you know, because they are not comfortable to see face to face. So what we do actually, we start texting them through WhatsApp, or maybe we can actually start calling them. And I think this is the right time for us as an insurance advisor to get personal touch with them, like to show that we are care for them and we don't abandon them, especially at this difficult time. Not just when we want to sell something to them, but now when they are facing uncertainty, that's the times that we show cares. So like a lot of people mention that people do not care how much you know, unless first you show them how much you care. That's how we always emphasize to our client. So from home, actually, it's become very, very productive when you start working from home. For example, when you want to do like WhatsApp call to your clients, you can do anytime you want. And also like most of the clients or most of our prospects, they already start working from home. So basically their time are very, very flexible. And you can even have a Zoom meeting with them at the middle of the night. For example, after the children go to bed, then when they have a very free time, that's the times that actually we can contact them and there's nobody bothers them. Yeah, so I think going back to office for our situation is not so productive. For us, we prefer to truly work from home. Yeah, and we also feel that it's very productive in the sense that we no need to be stuck in the jam. And also, normally, like for example, if you meet people outside the house, so basically you have to arrange your time from one place to another place. So basically, maybe the traffic will take you 30 minutes to 1 hour. But because of the Zoom call, virtual meeting, basically you can have a meeting back to back, like 3 to 4 o'clock, 4 to 5 o'clock, or 5 to 6 o'clock. So basically, our appointment actually get very smoothly by doing a Zoom meeting or virtual meeting. Yeah, so that's how they actually we get, like for myself, I get a lot of clients during this difficult time, because the moment when I actually have a conversation with them, I will start asking them that, how are you doing? How are the kids doing? And how are you guys coping with this pandemic? And they start asking to me like, Kaka, do you know that if let's say I'm contacted with COVID-19, do you think the insurance cover? That's the times that they want to know. Are they actually properly covered if let's say they are contracted to COVID-19? And that's the times that we as the insurance advisor, we can actually give them, do a policy review, like to show them what currently coverage they have and whether or not they want to top up or whether or not they feel that it's enough for them. Yeah, so for me personally, I think I will be very productive from starting doing from home based rather than going back to office.
Incredible, Ka. Yes, I think I agree with you on terms of commuting time, which is actually so helpful. Like our sales agents in my company, of course, they still prefer to work from home. Whereas me, who's having different hats, I don't only sell or meet clients, I do multiple areas which I manage. So I still like to come to office. There are many things which I need to get in touch with. So I get a different feel in the office. So I wanted to come back to office. As I said in the beginning, it was nice, beautiful. Yeah, we feel more productive at home. But then I started craving to go back to office, and I feel we are doing the Zoom meeting with clients who are like far away located. So the areas are now extended. Yeah, we know that this client is far away. What subject matter is just for a piece of servicing, which we can do on the meeting and Zoom, but the subject matter is something very important, which can only be discussed face to face, then only be face to face. Otherwise, as far away clients are, they are also happy. You can do a Zoom meeting. So I think those areas have really been helpful. And all my sales guys are literally working from home. And we have given them unlimited Zoom access to them from the day one. We have given the ERP system access to them. So they become even more efficient on using ERP, which they were not using before.
Yeah, right. True.
Yeah, I think you make a good point, is that we can be more efficient during these times as well. And it's also allowed us to open up what I'm going to say our market area. So before we would kind of look at ourselves as being locked into our area, whatever that area is for you. Our area happened to be metropolitan Greater Salt Lake area. And we would look at that and say, okay, we can make it here or there within a reasonable amount of time. But now that we do have more access, or it's becoming more efficient and more acceptable for clients and prospects to say, oh, well, I'll just get on a Zoom meeting. And for us in the United States, it doesn't matter where you're at. They could be 5 states away and they're willing to get on a Zoom meeting with me and chat. And now it's really just opened up our market for us. The other thing that it's allowed us to do is be more efficient in the office or with our schedule. We pretty much know everybody's home now, right? And so instead of driving and visiting with them, or them driving and visiting with us, we adopted more of a virtual meeting for a lot of our clients before this ever happened. But with the travel times, didn't matter if it was weather or just the distance that they were traveling, it was starting to increase and get more and more of a pain to commute across the Salt Lake Valley, is that now everybody seems to be a lot more open in taking the virtual meetings or a phone call. We do a lot more phone calls, obviously, than we do Zoom meetings or in-person meetings, but just made our times a lot more efficient.
This episode is part of MDRT's podcast series about advisors adapting to the global health crisis and down market. If you'd like to subscribe, find us on Spotify and SoundCloud, and we'll see you next time.